Hi, good afternoon. I'm very glad for the video of the TED video by Rita Pearson because it connects a lot to what I'm trying to advocate about. And I'll start off with a story of Mrs. Hannon and Ellen. While busy greeting children and preparing for the day, the teachers heard Ellen, a 4-year-old boy, crying in the hallway. Every morning, Ellen cried very loudly and refused to come into the classroom from the bus. Mrs. Hannon, the lead teacher, found herself becoming very frustrated with Ellen, and she told him to come to the classroom without asking why he was upset. During circle time, Ellen repeatedly kicked his feet on the carpet and did not pay attention to Mrs. Hannon read a story to the group. Mrs. Hannon told Ellen to stop kicking, but he continued kicking his feet in the air. Exasperated, Mrs. Hannon snapped at Ellen. Stop kicking. I've had enough. You are going to leave circle time. Go over there and sit on the chair. I am going to tell your mum about this. As Ellen moved to the thinking chair, he began to cry. He was very mad at Mrs. Hannon and wished someone would snuggle him instead of yell at him. During center time, Mrs. Hannon heard Ellen crying while she was helping another child with an art project. Mrs. Hannon realized that she was again feeling very frustrated with Ellen. Deciding that she needed to develop some new strategies when interacting with him, the next day, Mrs. Hannon heard Ellen coming towards the classroom. She went out into the hallway, bent down to his level, greeted him warmly, and smiled at him. As Ellen entered the classroom holding Mrs. Hannon's hand, he did not cry. He even smiled. During circle time, Ellen listened to Mrs. Hannon read the very quiet cricket, and he responded when she had the class rub their wings together by flapping their arms up and down in response to the book's repeated phrase, nothing happened, not a sound. At the end of the day, as she considered all that had happened, Mrs. Hannon was pleased with how well the day went for Ellen. She decided to look for resources on developing positive relationships with young children, and she found that affectionate behavior, such as smiles, pats, and hugs, a calm voice, and truly listening to young children help build positive relationships between teachers and children. She realized that she was often so busy managing the group of children that she missed the individual interactions with them. Teachers face enormous distractions with paperwork, routine care, and packed schedules. But some teachers manage to cut through these distractions to truly connect with children, and research shows that these teachers have significant and lasting effects on the outcomes in these children. So, what is my intention for embarking on the IBAB project that focuses on quality interactions? It's really to promote quality interactions by influencing others to look beyond operational demands and truly connect with children and each other to effect significant and lasting outcomes. With that, I hope to make an impact where bite-sized adjustments can be made to create meaningful moments, what I call M&Ms, of interactions between teachers and children. In the early childhood setting, each moment that teachers and children interact with one another is an opportunity to form deep connections. And once a deep connection, and a deep and powerful connection between two people has been made, they become a vital part of each other's lives, and there is no separating them. What does this really mean when we say that interactions of deep connections are important in positive relationships? Edward Hallowell, an author and specialist, said that the most powerful force in life for development, joy, confidence, health is the force of connections. And its most distilled, we call it love. These connections of love stems from positive interactions. And research will show that over time, many positive interactions will build relationships that are warm, responsive, and trusting. So, how do we then establish this culture of deep connections that promotes positive quality interactions? The positive teacher child interactions that are warm and stimulating are a key component of quality in early childhood settings. And the research suggests that the types of interactions provide that strong foundation. And it all starts with the teacher. But the teacher has two voices within. I'm an early childhood teacher. I think of my work as very demanding, very stimulating. It's as if I am an traffic controller trying to keep everyone on course and prevent collisions. I'm an architect designing an environment for discovery. I'm a bodyguard teaching the children how to share and get along with each other. I'm a gardener tilling the soil, planting seeds of love for learning. The learning environment I create is clean and organized. I'm always busy buying new curriculum materials and learning games. I arrange things with discovery and beauty in mind, choosing things from nature and loose parts of play in the classroom. If I could just get children to sit still and listen, take time to sit and listen to them, I could teach them what they need to be ready for school. Discover their questions and encourage their curiosity so that they'll be excited about learning. I'm worried that that they don't learn enough when they just play, that they don't get enough time to play. There's so little time to get everything I've planned for done, to experience the wonder of childhood. Children need to be challenged to pay close attention and follow directions. Children must have time to run down the hill, splash through the puddles, sit under a tree, and gaze at the clouds. Watching children play doesn't make me look like a real teacher. It is the part of my job that I love most. Children do and say the most remarkable things. It's true, children sometimes surprise me with what they know. I'm amazed by their insights and abilities. I know it's important to observe. Each child has to be assessed for their progress. Each child has so much to teach me. Watching closely, I see so much growth unfolding. I so want the parents to see me as a legitimate teacher, the parents to delight with me in what their children are doing. I have so much to cover with my curriculum. So much of my curriculum comes from my observations. When I let children have free play, I have to have eyes at the back of my head to keep them safe and out of mischief. I see how they benefit from taking risks and how inventive and capable they really are. This work has so many pressures and demands. It is so rewarding. I'm thinking about looking for another job. This job is the one that I want to keep for as long as possible. Your attitude affects your thinking, which in turn affects your feelings, which in turn affects your actions. So, the theory of deep connections is really about having a positive mindset that will influence positive interactions, and positive interactions will build positive relationships. And as Mayer and Solovey presented the concept of how through quality interactions and relationships, children develop social and emotional skills, which influences children's mental health and well-being now and in the future. They form a sense of who they are and what they can do, and that is basically their sense of identity. So my approach is very much a strengths-based approach, and I look into inquiring into what the centers currently are doing well. What are the stories and the memories where they have felt that they've truly connected with children and the situations that have made these interactions meaningful? With that, we'll analyze the data and create meaningful moments by looking at the four principles, which is to validate, personalize, respect, and accept children. These basically come across as very normal or natural qualities that are not new to us, but breaking them down and balancing it with day to day demands and questions and operations make these easier said than done. Participants are encouraged to dwell deeper into the qualities, and we do a 2 day work. I actually do a 2 day workshop with them. Currently, I'm actually working with four centers: Happy Town, Little Bees Play School, Pet Schoolhouse at Kovan, and Aruzu. And we've already done the 2 day workshop, and I do an on site workshop with the teachers in their centers to go through the four qualities. From there, then they will carry it out with their children, and then there's on site coaching as well. At the end of it, we'll have a half-day focus group together and see how the teachers have progressed and how else can we work better moving forward. Because at the end of it, my intention is really for it to become a culture. So it can't just be a one-time thing, but it has to be something that becomes a habit. So in Singapore, children spend an average of 9 hours a day, 45 hours a week, and 180 hours a month in childcare. These adds up to more than 2,000 hours in a year. And as an early childhood educator, we have close to 10,000 hours of opportunities to form deep connections by creating meaningful moments with children through our interactions. So if not us, then who? And if not now, then when? Thank you.